Hello everyone. I decided to make homemade cars or go-karts or tanks. I don't know what to call him, but the point is that he has to ride with a person. So I sat down and rode like on a motorcycle, only 4 wheels. Let's see what happens. There is also such a nuance that I want to make it so that it can be loaded here on the Vix Trail. And there it can be taken to another city, to another village, and to another point in general to drive. It should turn out to be something interesting. Since I don't have the opportunity to collect something in the city, cook and cut some metal there, I came to the village. In the village, I specially cleaned up an abandoned room like this there, and here I will muddy it all up in it. Of course, there is horror being done there. The walls are scary, but it doesn't matter to me what kind of walls there are, and what kind of environment there is in general. It is important that there is electricity there. It is important that I can collect something there, create something. That's what's important. Well, that's it, I'm starting to do it. I want to show you what I bought on the market. So, wheels. The wheels we have firm and ordinary wheelbarrow are like this with bearings. 4 pieces. Then the motor. This motor is a motor from a trimmer. Here is a trimmer like this. Here is his marking 52 cubes. I also bought a gearbox like this, except for the motor. Then I bought this knitting needle. We need this spoke in the gearbox. There will be no business without it either. Then I bought this, I don't know, a big giant bolt with a diameter of 22 and with such nuts. By the way, nuts were hard to find. With nuts, this is a problem. Then I also typed bolts, nuts like this, washers. All of it will come in handy. This is what I bought at the market. Everything else is all kinds of fittings, pipes, in general, what I find. Well, that's it, I'm starting to collect. Since until I bought a tripod for the camera, I put the camera on the table, then on the windowsill, then somewhere else, so that I could point and shoot what I was doing. The steering frame took about 2 days. It was interesting to collect it. I've never cooked before, but it turns out to be quite easy to learn this. The main tools with which I created this are a grinder, a welding machine, and a conventional drill. The steering was very smooth and comfortable. In general, I liked it. When I lift the frame and turn on the gas, the wheels turn like it's a beast, not a go-kart. But when I just put it on the ground, everything changes dramatically. It turns out that the engine does not have enough power to destroy even the frame itself without a driver. I tested this one with my creation. I realized that it needed to be recycled. I found a 123 reducer on the internet. I also decided to supply bearings. Before that, the bearings were only on the front wheels. The starter broke down, so I had to make a tube on which I wound the cord and pulled. Now I'll show you how it happened. I spent 1 day on processing. For sitting, I used an ordinary old chipboard board. To control the gas, I attached an ordinary iron cable and brought it out so that it would be convenient to press it with my foot. I also attached a foot mount. Without it, it would be unrealistic to ride this thing. I also made 2 additional mounts for the engine. There was so much snow that I decided to tie this thing to the car and put it on a convenient road where I could test it. The 1-2-3 gearbox didn't do a very good job of guiding me. The load was too much. Another very important problem has appeared. It's a chain. She flew off. It flew off because the vibration of the engine was too strong. To fix this problem, it would be good to attach tensioners. But the niece was carried by this thing without any problems at all. Straight from the slip. During testing, the muffler fell off, and I was very surprised when I noticed that the engine power had increased. This was due to the fact that the exhaust gas hole was too small. Because of this, the engine could not run at full power. After testing, I realized that I had to recycle further. And in the end, I came to the conclusion that it is necessary to completely remove the sprocket, completely remove the chain, and do it through the belts and through the pins. And moreover, to do not just 1-2-3, but to do 1-9. So I decided to remake the CP4 belts. I bought 2 pins, 2 belts, and 2 small pins like this. I also bought such a big bolt. I will show in the future that it will have 2 bearings here. I don't like how I made these hubs. They turn out to be very weak. That is, the load is strong, and it turns out that they are already beginning to bend. That is, I will redo this and make another hub like this here, and it will hold. In other words, the load will partially go here and partially here. On the other side as well. Welded the pipe. That's what a silencer will be like. I changed the engine mount. Now it looks like this. Divided the frame into 2 parts. That's how it will connect. That is, this is the back part, this is the front part. That's it, the motor is attached. I made a tensioner for 1 pin, and for the second pin I also made it. That is, this little bolt they pull on this belt, and these 2 big ones pull on the belt that's at the bottom. It's time to test this homemade go-kart. That's what he looks like. It's from 2 parts. I've made a button for this ignition. I also made these additional fasteners for the front wheels, because that hub was really weak. I also made such a pedal. This is where the cable will cling, and when pressed, it will tighten. It should be pretty cool, too. And here's the most interesting thing. I completely redesigned the rear gearbox. Here. That's what he looks like now. There are 4 pins here. So, but we have gas. Here it will work like this. Here, when this cable is pulled, the throttle valve of the engine opens. It looks like this. This cable will be tied to the pedal. So, as I said, I did it from 2 parts. In other words, this is the third level of this homemade go-kart. Now we are going to transport it to a more level road, so that we can go normally, and shoot this, how it works. Well, what can I say? It turned out to be a cool car. It will be interesting to test it in the summer, because in winter you see what happens here. It is difficult to ride something here, and in general, the snow has begun to part, just the kind that is molded, wet, slimy. What else can I say? If you like the video, write some cool ideas, and I will try to make them a reality. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The next experiments will be even more fun.